are you feeling?
I don't feel good
Okay.
today. I did when I first woke up the morning before the sick.
Okay.
And, I just felt better because I slept about 4 hours, I think.
Okay.
And, I'm miserable because of steroids. I know now what. And taking so much medicine. At home I have my 3 containers.
Yeah.
So I can take it gradually and not dump on my stomach. My stomach hasn't hurt as bad today,
Okay.
but after I take the medicine, my stomach hurts.
You mean
But-
the steroids?
The steroids have always hurt me,
Okay.
but I haven't been on this much steroids in years.
I understand.
And
Does steroids hurt your stomach when you're getting them intravenously?
They can cause gastritis. They can cause inflammation in the stomach. And
well,
she's
the
on a
inflammation, the pain I'm having. See, and I've never had the top of the stomach thing. I've had the lower. It was in the deodorant.
Mhm.
Everybody says that different because I don't know from one minute to the other which way I'm gonna say it. But it was harder to get rid of the ulcers
Mhm.
that were so far down. And but I didn't never hurt up high. You know, just it's like right after I have that breathing
Mhm.
treatment, I get shaky
Yeah.
and
Do you
I-
take
you
breathing?
just-
Do you take breathing treatments at home at all?
I take just
Just the inhalers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they make her jittery a little
Mhm.
bit, just not to this degree, because
Yeah.
this is such a high.
Yeah, it is. We could give a lower dose. We can change it to something else that doesn't cause her to get jittery. I spoke with Dr. Kimberly yesterday, okay?
Okay.
So he has you with a diagnosis of what they call interstitial lung disease, okay? And from what he's telling me, at the time that he was seeing you, he did not think that you actually had fibrosis because it's kind of a spectrum of disease, okay? Interstitial lung disease means you have inflammation in your lungs, but it can get worse and progress, and when it progresses, it goes to fibrosis, which is scarring, which we can't fix,
Yeah.
okay? So our CAT scan here suggested that it looked like fibrosis, looked like the scarring, and if that is the case, the steroids won't help. The steroids only help if it's kind of in the early stages or in between stages. So our lung doctor is going to come by to see you, and she's going to look at the CAT scans herself and make a decision whether she feels you need to be on the steroids or not, okay? We're getting...
Well, now the steroids do. I'm not coughing.
Mhm.
I'm not coughing up near.
That's been treating the pneumonia, right?
Well, she doesn't have pneumonia, actually.
Well, they told her she had double pneumonia.
Here's the thing, the x-ray looks like pneumonia, that's why we got the CT, okay? And the CT showed that it's just a lot of scarring. Now, there's something called, it gets a little bit complicated. There's pneumonia meaning infection in the lungs, which it doesn't appear she has. But there's a type of lung disease, interstitial lung disease, that's called usual interstitial pneumonia. It's not really an infection, it's an inflammatory process. They just give them funny names, okay? But our lung doctor will look at the CT, because we have a radiologist reading it, you know, she'll look at it and decide which is the best option in terms of treatment, okay?
Well, when I take an antibiotic,
Mhm.
the color leaves.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
still have a lot of
Yeah,
sinus that drains down or something.
okay.
And I'm using the oxygen that you can do the water so I won't be as,
Right, dry?
yeah.
Mhm.
And and it's like today I'm so dry, I can't keep my lips even wet good or something.
How do you feel getting up? Do you still get really short of breath, or?
I'm mostly weak, but my body wants to get up and do,
Okay,
but I walked around last night
okay.
She walked around this morning too.
and I made it, straightened up my bed.
She was at 45 minutes.
Okay.
45 minutes, because after she did her little thing in here, and she went and she bathed, and I was in the bathroom a while, and then they came in and did her vitals right after that, so I was anxious, to see what it was. Well, her oxygen was 96.
That's good.
Yeah, for her to been up, and it was 96, and her blood
But
pressure was...
I know I've got to be up and moving.
Yes,
to
you
get-
do. The The biggest problem we had in the emergency room was, it wasn't clear exactly what was wrong, because we didn't know your previous diagnosis, number one. And number two, when you moved, your oxygen level was dropping to the 70s, right, which we would never want you to go home with. That's why
Yeah.
we kept you to see if we could get you better. Now, I don't know, it may be the steroids that have helped to get you better, because they do decrease inflammation. We need to walk you again though for 6 minutes and see if your oxygen levels stay up or
Yeah.
go down, okay? But I really would like the lung doctor to see you.
Well, I had to go into the Dalton Hospital as I was sick and being introduced to Fresh after years,
Right,
because he was my doctor in the 90s and had me on steroids for a year.
right.
But, now what was the point I was gonna make?
About the walking?
They wouldn't even let me walk in
Okay.
his office.
Because you were so bad at the time, huh?
And I went one time and my portable machine wasn't even, I was gonna brave that day and drove myself. I didn't want to bother my kids. And I thought I can just drive to town and back. And which the driving was fine. But I knew when I got out, I have to have my purse and my portable with me. And you gotta walk a long hall, and he's the lady, door down at the end of the hall. And I just kept getting weaker. They saw me right away.
Yeah.
And when she saw me, it wasn't, she said, give me your, she put that thing on my finger. She said, give me your oxygen tank.
Yeah.
I
You
handed it to her. What do you know?
Yeah.
Well, when I do that, it's like it pushes me back. Because 2 times now, I've been without oxygen for a little while.
Became
You didn't
loose in the
realize.
eye,
Yeah,
that thing that
yeah.
goes together. We've now taped it
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it don't come loose. But she has it in her mind that when that has happened to her, that sets her back because she was without oxygen. And another thing I wanted to ask you is, it's on 2 at home. Does that need to be adjusted for her?
Well, when we walk